Namaste students. Today we will read this chapter, The Hack Driver, right? Hack is a horse-drawn vehicle, right? And we will read about that driver of this hack. So I am reading the chapter. After graduating with honors, graduate in law, I became a junior assistant. This writer is saying that he became a junior assistant clerk in a magnificent law company. I was sent not to prepare legal briefs, not to prepare legal documents, but to serve summons. Summons is court orders, right? Like a cheap private detective. Cheap means like who was not paid well. I had to go to dirty and shadowy corners of the city to seek out my victims. To seek out my victims means to serve summons to the people, to serve legal court orders to the people. Some of the larger and more self-confident ones, like people whom he was handing over the summons, whom he was serving the summons, if like some of them, they were large in size and more self-confident one even beat this person up who was serving summons to them. This writer, I hated this unpleasant work, and the side of city life, it revealed to me, it disclosed to me. This job had disclosed to him this side of city life, and which he did not like at all. I even considered fleeing to my hometown. So he started thinking that he'll run away from the city and he'll go back to his hometown, where I could have been a real lawyer right away, and there he could work as a real lawyer, maybe not paid well, but yes, real lawyer, without going through the unpleasant training period, because here in city he is going through this unpleasant training period, that he is not preparing for any cases, but he has been sent to serve summons to the people. So I rejoiced, So I rejoiced one day, but one day what happened? They sent me out 40 miles in the country. Country means countryside, rural side, 40 miles away. He was sent, and that day he enjoyed a lot, to a town called New Mullion to serve summons on a man called Oliver Lutkins. We needed this man, this writer is saying that he and his other colleagues, they needed this man as a witness in law case, and he had ignored all our letters. So before, now he is going to serve summons, but before that, many letters were sent to him and he just ignored, he did not come, he did not turn. When I got to New Mullion, my eager expectations of a sweet and simple country village were severely disappointed. But he says, otherwise he had a very good picture of village and village people, but when he visited this New Mullion, his expectations were severely disappointed. Its streets were rivers of mud. Streets were as if they were just rivers of mud, with rows of wooden shops, and they were small wooden shops, not very good ones, small wooden shops, which were painted either with dull brown color or were not painted at all, and they were all broken and all, like this kind of. Either painted a sour brown, sour, S-O-U-R, sour means dull brown, or bare of any paint at all, or no paint at all. The only agreeable sight about the place was a delivery man at the station. But yes, one sight that he can never forget, it was a delivery man at the station, right? He went by train. He was about 40, his age was about 40, red-faced, that means either he was American or something like this, foreigner, cheerful and thick about the middle, and here he was thick. His working clothes were dirty as he was at the station and he was a delivery man. So his clothes were dirty and well worn. Well worn means clothes he had worn them many times, so that way they were well worn. And he had a friendly manner. You felt at once that he liked people. So the moment you see him, you feel that yes, he likes people, he likes helping people. I told him. Then he went near that man, that delivery man, this writer, and he said, I want to find a man named Oliver Lutkins. Lutkins, I saw him around here about an hour ago. Then this delivery man, he says, Lutkins, okay, that he saw that man here only at the station 1 hour back. Hard fellow to catch though. He says it's very difficult to catch him. Always up to something or other. And he keeps visiting one shop, another shop, another shop. So like this. He is probably trying to start up a poker game. Poker game is game of cards at the back of Fritz's shop. So that delivery man, he tells the writer that he must be about to start a game of cards at Fritz's shop. I'll tell you, boy. This boy, he refers to the writer. Is there any hurry about locating Lutkins? And he says that, are you in a hurry? Or like easily we can move out and then we can look for him. Then writer says, yes, I want to catch the afternoon train back to the city. That in the afternoon he had to go back. I was very important and secret about it, but he did not tell that why he was looking for Oliver. I'll tell you what. Then this delivery man says, I'll tell you what, I've got a hack, right? So he has a hack, that horse-drawn vehicle. I'll get it. He'll get that horse-drawn vehicle and we can drive around together and find Lutkins. And he says that on that hack, we'll go here and there and we will find Lutkins. I know most of the places he hangs out, he visits. He was so open, the delivery man was so open, that this writer is saying, and friendly, that I glowed. He shined like it was shining. He glowed with the warmth of his affection. The affection he was showing, that he said, okay, I'll bring my hack and together we'll go and look for him. He was impressed. I knew, of course, this writer is saying, of course I knew that he wanted the business also, because he would charge. He would not take him free of cost here and there. But his kindness was real. Fine, he wanted to earn money, but otherwise whatever affection he was showing and helpful nature he was showing, that was real. I was glad, I was happy. The fare money, that whatever he will pay as a fare, would go to this good fellow. I managed to bargain down, so then he bargained with him and it was decided that he would pay, the writer would pay him $2 per hour. And then he brought from his house nearby a sort of large black box on wheels. It was like this horse-drawn vehicle was like a black box on wheels. He remarked, and then he said, well, young man, here is the carriage. And his white smile made me into an old friend. And his white smile was as if he was smiling to his old friend, right? These villagers are so ready to help. This is writer's view, that villagers are ready to help a stranger. He had already made it his own task. That delivery man had already made this lawyer's work as his own work to find Oliver Lutkins, right? He said, I don't want to interfere, young fellow. This delivery man is saying that I don't want to interfere, young fellow, but my guess is that you want to collect some money from Lutkins. He never pays anybody a cent. Cent is a small unit of currency. He still owes me, this delivery man says, he has to give me, he still owes me 50 cents on a poker game. I was fool enough to play with him. That he played that game of cards with him and now he has to pay him 50 cents. He is not really bad, but it is hard to make him part with his money. Otherwise, Oliver is good, this delivery man is saying, but it is very difficult to take out money from him. If you try to collect from him in those fancy clothes, that if you will go like this, in these fancy, very good clothes, he will be suspicious, he will have doubt and get away from you and he will just run away from there. If you want, I will go into Fritz's shop, this delivery man is saying, and you can keep out of sight that and you stay behind me. I loved him for this, writer is saying that he loved him, as he was saying like this. By myself, I might never have found Lutkins. And then this writer started thinking that if he is such a man, that alone it was very difficult for him to find Lutkins. With the hack driver's knowing help, I was sure of getting my man. But as that delivery man, that hack driver was helping him, right? So he was sure that he would get that man. I took him into my confidence. So he took him into his and told him that I wanted to serve the summons on Lutkins. So when they were driving, they were going here and there, then lawyer told him that actually he want to serve court's orders to him. And that the man had refused to be a witness, and otherwise that Oliver, he had refused that he did not want to become any witness in the court. When his information would have quickly settled our case, and his information, whatever he will give the information, that will quickly settle their case. The driver listened earnestly. Earnestly means honestly, seriously. Hack driver. At the end, so first he listened to his whatever he was saying. At the end, he hit me on the shoulder and laughed. Well, we'll give Brother Lutkins a little surprise. Let's start, driver. This lawyer is saying. Most people around here call me Bill or Magnuson. This hack driver is saying. My business is called William Magnuson Fancy Carting and Hacking. This is name of this hack driver's shop. Maybe he has got it written on that black box also. Yes, Lutkins is just as likely to be there as anywhere. He can go anywhere. Plays a lot of poker. He is good at deceiving people. He is good at cheating people, that Oliver. Bill seemed to admire Lutkins. Though that hack driver, he was telling all these things about Lutkins, but the lawyer felt that still that Bill, that hack driver, he was his great admirer. Talent for dishonesty. See, this is also a talent. Cheating people, but not being very cruel to them, being very good to them and then cheating them. I felt that if he had been a policeman, lawyer is feeling that if that hack driver was a policeman, he would have caught Lutkins respectfully and jailed him with regret, with sadness, with sad feelings. Bill led me into Fritz's shop. Then that hack driver took that lawyer into Fritz's shop, and he asked there, have you seen Oliver Lutkins around today? Friend of his looking for him. Bill says that friend of him looking for him. Fritz looked at me, hiding behind Bill. Then Fritz, that shopkeeper, looked at the lawyer hiding behind Bill. He hesitated and then admitted, yes, he was in here a little while ago. Guess he's gone over to Gustav's to get a shave. Then Fritz tell him that he must have gone to Gustav's shop to get a shave. Well, if he comes in, tell him I'm looking for him. This hack driver says. Then they drove to Gustav's barber shop. Again, Bill went in first and lawyer lingered at the door. He asked not only the Swede, that person was a Sweden, he was from Sweden, he was a Swede, but two customers if they had seen Lutkins. So he asked that barber also and other two customers also that if they had seen Lutkins. The Swede had not, because the barber had not seen him. He said angrily, and barber said angrily, I haven't seen him and don't care to and don't want to also. But if you find him, you can just collect that $35 he owes to me. He has to give me $35. One of the customers thought he had seen Lutkins walking down Main Street. One of the customers said this, that he saw Lutkins walking down Main Street, this side of the hotel. Then as we climbed back into the hack, Bill and the lawyer writer both. Bill concluded that since Lutkins had exhausted his credit at Gustav's, he has finished off with his credit at Gustav. Gustav is no more going to give him any services on credit. Probably he had gone to Gray's for a shave. So he had gone to Gray's shop for a shave. At Gray's barber shop, again we missed Lutkins by only 5 minutes. When they reached at Gray's shop, again it was said that 5 minutes back he was here, then he had left. He had just left probably for the pool room. Pool room is a gambling house. So then at Gray's shop they came to know that he has gone to gambling house. At the pool room, it appeared that he has just bought a pack of cigarettes and gone out. So pool room also, at gambling house also they were told that he purchased a pack of cigarettes and had gone out. So we pursued him. They were after him, just behind him, but never catching him. So always they got this answer that 5 minutes back he was here, 10 minutes back he was here, he had just gone. So they were just behind him, never catching him. For an hour, till it was just 1 o'clock. So till 1 o'clock it was like this. They kept moving from one place to another place. And then this lawyer, he says, I was hungry. But I had so enjoyed Bill's rough country opinions about his neighbors that I scarcely cared whether I found Lutkins or not. Then Bill was also narrating stories about people, that man is like that, this man is like that, right? Then, how about something to eat? This lawyer suggested that let's eat something. Let's go to a restaurant and I will buy you lunch. Let's go to a restaurant and he will also buy a lunch for this hack driver. It's not that they will eat together. Well, I ought to go home to the wife. Then that hack driver says that he has to go to his home. His wife is waiting for him there. I don't care much for these restaurants. He says he is not very fond of eating at the restaurants. No attraction, no fancy about these restaurants. Only 4 of them. There are only 4 restaurants and they are all bad. Tell you what we'll do. We'll get the wife to pack up a lunch for us. Then he suggests, that hack driver suggests, that he'll tell his wife to pack lunch for them, not free of cost. She won't charge you more than $50. And it would cost you more for a greasy meal in a restaurant. And if you go to a restaurant, the food will be very oily and it will cost you more. And we will go up to Wades Hill, and then he also suggests that we'll get our lunch packed and we'll go up to that hill, Wades Hill, and enjoy the view while we eat. Then there we will eat also and we will enjoy the view also. I know that Bill's helplessness to the young fellow from the city was not entirely a matter of brotherly love. Again, this writer, he understood that it was not only that brotherly love he was or like whatever he was doing, because for lunch also he was charging. I was paying him for his time. He was paying him for this ride also and lunch also. In the end, I paid him for 6 hours, right? Including the lunch hour, for lunch hour also he paid at what was then a very high price. But he was no more dishonest than I. Why he says this line? This lawyer, he says, he was no more dishonest than I. He was charging, openly he was charging. In advance he told him that he would charge this much. But this lawyer, what he will do, whatever he is spending, he is roaming here and there and enjoying that ride, he will put all that expenditure into that company's account, law firm's account. So that is why he is thinking that hack driver was no more dishonest than I. I charged the whole thing to the firm, but it would have been worth paying him refreshing to a country boy like myself, who was sick of the city. But it would have been worth paying him myself to have his presence. But it is fine. He was enjoying that hack driver's company, so it's okay even if he was paying him. His cheerful country wisdom was very refreshing to a country boy like myself. Like, he always wanted to meet people like him, and he met one, so it was very refreshing. And this lawyer, he is also a country boy. He also belongs to a rural background, but he had come to city for a job. Who was sick of the city, as we sat on the hilltop, looking over the pastures and creek. Pastures are green lands, and creek is that water body, small water body. Creek, small gulf, right? And then, which slipped among the trees, and it was going amongst the trees at creek. He talked of New Mullion, that hack driver talked of New Mullion, and painted a picture in words of all the people in it. He noticed everything, but no matter how much he might laugh at people, he also understood and forgave their foolishness. He described the minister's wife. Then he started telling about people, that there is one minister's wife who sang the loudest in the church when she was most in debt. When she was under loan, that time she sang in the loudest voice in the church. He commented on the boys who came back from college in fancy clothes. So he was commenting on them also. Then he told about one lawyer whose wife could never succeed in getting that lawyer to put on both a collar and a tie on the same day. That there was one lawyer and his wife could never put on collar and a tie same on the both on the same day. Either she could tie collar or tie only, or she could put collar, one of them. He made them all live, and this narrating these stories, narrating these incidents, he made all these people, that minister's wife, this lawyer's wife, these students, all make them live. On that day, I came to know New Mullion better than I did the city. So in one day, he came to know about New Mullion so much that he didn't even come to know about the city in a long time, during a long time, and to love it better. And he started loving that place, New Mullion. But I didn't know about colleges and cities. Hack driver says that he has traveled a lot to this villages side, but he doesn't know about colleges and cities. But he had traveled around a lot of the country. Country here means rural area, and had a lot of jobs. From his adventures, he had brought back a philosophy of simplicity. Like, as he had traveled to these rural areas, so what he had learned, philosophy of simplicity and laughter, and it strengthened the lawyer also. We left that peaceful scene of meadows and woods and resumed our search of Oliver Lutkins. Then they got up from there and again started searching for Lutkins. We could not find him. At last, Bill cornered a friend of Lutkin's and made him admit what he guessed. Then Bill started guessing that to some particular place he had gone, that was to his mother's farm, and he stopped one of Lutkin's friend and he got admitted that yes, he had gone there. We drove out there laying plans, and we started making plans. I know Oliver's mother. She is a terror. Bill sighed. Bill is telling lawyer that I know Oliver's mother. She is a terror. Because what happened? I took a trunk out there for her, and she almost took my skin off. Right? What is this? Took my skin off is like that khal khinch now. Because I did not treat it like a box of eggs. He treated the trunk very roughly. He did not treat it like a box of eggs. So she took his skin off. She is about 9 feet tall and 4 feet thick fat and as quick as a cat. And she sure can talk. Talk means she can abuse. I'll bet Oliver heard that somebody is chasing him. Driver is saying that I bet that Oliver came to know that somebody was chasing him, following him, and he has gone on there to hide behind his mother's skirts. Well, we'll try her. But you would better let me do it. Again, head driver says that I'll manage. I will do it. Boy, you may be great at literature and law, but you haven't had real training in swearing. Swearing here means abuses. We drove into a poor farmyard. We were faced by an enormous means very big, cheerful old woman. My guide bravely went up to her. So he went to her and said, remember me? I am Bill Magnuson, the carter and the hackman. I want to find your son, Oliver. Then she shouted, I don't know anything about Oliver and I don't want to. Now look here. Then he says, the hack driver says, now listen. We have had just about enough nonsense. That means since morning they have been looking for him. This young man represents court in the city. Then hack driver introduced the lawyer also, that this young man represents courts in the city and we have a legal right to search all properties, all areas for this Oliver Lutkin. Bill made me sound very important, lawyer is feeling. And the woman was impressed. She retired into the kitchen. She went back to the kitchen and the hack driver and the lawyer followed her. And what happened? What did they see? She says she took out an iron from the old-fashioned stove and marched. Marched means attacked on us, shouting, you search all you want to. If you don't mind getting burned first. First you have to get burned and then you can search wherever you want. She shouted and laughed at our frightened retreat. Retreat means they stepped back. So she was laughing and shouting at them. Then Bill whispered into lawyer's ear, let's get out of here, she'll murder us. But from outside, they just checked. Outside he said, did you see her smile? This hack driver is saying to lawyer that, did you see her smile? She was laughing at us. I agreed, lawyer says. It was pretty disrespectful treatment. We did, however, search the house. But then also from outside, they peeped into the windows, through the, wherever they could, and then they searched. Since it was only 1 story high, and it was not that many floors were there at the house, Bill went round the house, peering in it all the windows, peeped into all the windows, peeped through all the windows. We examined the barn. Barn is that area where cattle is kept. Stable is otherwise for horses. We were reasonably certain that Lutkin was not there. Then they were assured, they were certain that Lutkin wasn't there. It was nearly time for me to catch the afternoon train. Then it was time for the lawyer to catch the afternoon train. Bill drove me to the station. Drove. Then Bill, that hack driver, drove that lawyer at the station to the station. On the way to the city, I worried very little over my failure to find Lutkins. And when he was going back in the train, he was not much worried that he could not find Lutkins, but he was very much happy that he met such a man like that hack driver and other people also. But yes, it was like that he was not worried that he could not find Lutkins, but other people in his company, they wanted Lutkins for that case. And then what happened was, like when he returned back to his company and he said that he could not find, the chief almost murdered me. Though really he did not murder, but it was like he was feeling like murdering him. He also said that he might do well, that lawyer might do well as digging ditches. He should start digging ditches. He is not fit for this job. I was ordered back to New Mullion, and with me went a man who had worked with Lutkins. As they wanted him at any cost, then again he was sent back, maybe around 3 or 4 o'clock, and one more person was sent with him, with this lawyer, who had already worked with Lutkins and he knew him, right? And then this lawyer, he was feeling bad because now he would not be able to enjoy loafing. Loafing means moving here and there with that hack driver because another person is also there. So finally, then they reached at the station. He helped. Then from the train steps, I pointed Bill. Again, that hack driver was at the station, and this lawyer was telling his friend, and he was saying, he told him, okay, this that man is a Bill. Bill was on the station platform near his cart, but there was one strange thing happening. That old tigress, Lutkins' mother, was there, talking and laughing with Bill, that hack driver, not quarreling at all. From the train steps, I pointed Bill out to my companion and said, there is a fine fellow, a real man. See this picture? Fine. So he said, I spent the day with him. He is telling his companion that he spent that day with, like the whole day with him only. And then companion asked that he helped you hunt for Oliver Lutkins. And lawyer said, yes, he helped me a lot. Then companion, who was the other person with him, he said, he must have, because he is Lutkins himself. What really hurt me, what really hurt the lawyer was that when he served the summons, now, when second time is coming, Lutkins and his mother laughed at him as though he was a bright boy of only 7 years. And with loving kindness, they begged me, they requested lawyer to go with them to a neighbor's house for a cup of coffee. Why? Because all other people saw him that time, right? And he was like a fool. But only one family, they missed this lawyer. They didn't see him. Because now he is serving summons at the station only and they'll go back, right? So he is inviting him that please come and meet them. They also want to look at you. So this hurt him a lot. So here the story ends.